Namaste and welcome. I'm your host, Mansi Joshi, and today we continue our weekly journey at the Akshardham Mahotsav and Festival of Inspirations here at the BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham in Robbinsville, New Jersey. So, let's get started with this week's Spotlight. Did you know that BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham campus in Robbinsville, New Jersey is spread over 183 acres and was built with the help of close to 13,000 volunteers who devoted millions of hours of selfless service. Most of these volunteers were involved with the construction of the Akshardham Mahamandir, which is made up of nearly 2 million cubic feet of carved stone. That's a lot of stone. Today, let's turn our spotlight on these stones that lay the foundation of the landmark of Hindu art, architecture, and culture.
Hello. We haven't met yet. I'm one of the stones to be placed on Swaminarayan Akshardham in Robbinsville, New Jersey. I have a story to tell. A story that will seem magical. A story that will feel inspiring. It's a story of my journey. How I was transformed from a cold block of stone to a stone with a story. But I am just one of thousands. And my story is our collective story. It is a tale of achieving the impossible. It is the tale of the making of Swaminarayan Akshardham. Come with me into the world of architectural beauty and spiritual resonance. Let's take a journey through time and space into the making of Akshardham in Robbinsville, New Jersey. Imagine a grand adventure spanning thousands of years, the creation of Hindu mandirs. These awe-inspiring structures that stood the test of time were not just artistic and architectural marvels, but also spiritual wonders. For Akshardham, His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj had a simple yet bold vision for a Hindu mandir campus that captures thousands of years of Hindu architecture, culture, and spirituality for all of humanity, for generations to come. To give the mandir and campus a home, BAPS was fortunate that the Robbinsville, New Jersey community believed in that vision. The township welcomed the project with open arms. It is because of the community's leadership, inclusivity, and understanding that Akshardham is made possible today. It would be an understatement to say that designing such a campus, procuring stones from various parts of the world, carving in India, and assembling in the United States would be a monumental challenge. But Akshardham was to be a global endeavor. The stones sourced from various parts of the world had to be perfect, without cracks. The stones and the structures had to eventually withstand the extreme weather of New Jersey. But the entire process, with all the logistical and coordinational challenges, was a testament to the dedication and devotion of volunteers working selflessly towards one goal. As a raw stone block, my journey began from a quarry. Some of our journeys began in Greece, some in Bulgaria, some in Turkey, others in Italy, Brazil, and countries around the world. As you can imagine, extracting gigantic crack-free and pure stone blocks took time and effort. Hundreds of thousands of cubic feet of stone were quarried in total. In India, skilled artisans hand-carved the stones, transforming them into breathtaking works of art, according to ancient Hindu texts of temple architecture, commonly known as Shilpasastras, which scholars believe are at least 1,000 years old. Before heading to the United States, the stones were first assembled in India to ensure quality and a perfect fit. Each component of the stones were labeled using a complex system and shipped by the sea to the United States. In effect, the entire Akshardham was assembled twice, 8,000 miles apart. The magic began when we arrived in Robbinsville, New Jersey, where volunteers from diverse backgrounds came together to erect the mandir. Here, in an epic story of teamwork, volunteers worked hand in hand by contributing their time, energy, and skills in the spirit of love and service. From architectural designs to structural engineering, from stunning craftsmanship to global logistics, from unprecedented volunteerism to silent spirituality. The story of the making of Akshardham is truly epic. Making Akshardham was like assembling one of the world's largest jigsaw puzzles, made of hundreds of thousands of carved stones, all in the spirit of devotion and selfless service. Truly magical. Akshardham is a story of thousands of volunteers, supporters, and well-wishers of all backgrounds and ages coming together for over 10 years to make a vision a reality. The result is a breathtaking structure that celebrates ageless art and timeless values. Akshardham stands not just as a landmark of Hindu architecture and culture. It is a home for all of us. It reminds us that when we join hands, the impossible becomes possible. So here I am, one of the many stones that witnessed the making of Akshardham. Akshardham is a tribute to the creative power of people around the world united in love, purpose, and dedication. A tribute to thousands of years of inspirational art, architecture, culture, and values. A tribute for generations and generations to experience. This is the magical and inspirational story of the stones of Akshardham. I look forward to welcoming you here, where you too can come to feel the magic.
Thank you for joining us on the journey of these stones. It is now time for us to start taking a deep dive into the structures surrounding the Mahamandir. This week, we will start off by shining a spotlight on the Parikrama and the central courtyard.
Mandirs, old and new, offer a profound perspective on Hindu architecture. The amount of depth of thought and insight put into these magnificent structures is absolutely incredible. But in order to really appreciate its splendor, we must walk around the mandir and absorb it from every angle. The heart of this campus is undoubtedly the Akshardham Mahamandir. But to accentuate its beauty and to echo its finesse, a nearly 2,500-foot-long Parikrama, or circumambulatory path, encircles the landmark. This Parikrama is essentially a stone-crafted har, or garland, that weaves together the surrounding buildings, bestowing upon the Akshardham Mahamandir and the courtyard a divine aura. Just as hars and necklaces adorn the murtis within the mandir, the Parikrama similarly graces the outside. Constructed from Bansipur sandstone, the Parikrama is noted for its strength and malleability while complementing the creamy hue of the Akshardham Mahamandir. The selection of this unique stone, which is native to Rajasthan, India, has been previously used in other BAPS mandirs such as the ones in Chino Hills, Rajkot, Surat, and the iconic Swaminarayan Akshardham in New Delhi. The term Parikrama itself originates from Sanskrit and means the path surrounding a spiritual entity. Walking around the Mahamandir itself is a journey, one that reminds us to embrace a life with God at its center, filled with universal morals, spiritual values, and selfless virtues. The Parikrama also encircles the courtyard, which harmoniously blends ancient wisdom with cutting-edge technology. In the middle of the courtyard sit two serene ponds, the Yagna Purush Kund and the Yogi Kund, named in honor of Sastri Ji Maharaj and Yogi Ji Maharaj. revered spiritual successors of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. It goes without saying that genuine spiritual and practical truths are universal and timeless. When you visit Akshardham, be sure to take time to enjoy the Parikrama and the courtyard.
What we just saw would have not been possible without the selfless dedication of our numerous volunteers from across the world. In our next segment, Voices of the Volunteers, we shine a spotlight on these individuals that spent countless hours in the construction of the Akshardham and the Mahamandir.
He did the really good volunteer. This is not just the home like a mandir construction. It's all about his career construction, her jivan. The way she built her mandir is the mandir built her. The way she's gonna be a strong for the living the life, volunteerism, the professional lives, the way she's gonna struggle. In case she's in a struggle in her life, she have a way to come over to that struggle.
Every time I do my seva on site, I think back, like if someone does something wrong or if I do something wrong, I shouldn't take fault in them. I should see good in them and always work towards achieving positive work habits in our construction site. But in your heart, you feel like Akshardham's changed you. It's built you up to this moment. I think I've built courage a lot because I was always outspoken. I'm very extroverted. I speak my mind whenever possible. But when I was doing seva on site, there's 1,000 other people who also have opinions and stuff. So you really have to have the courage to speak your mind. So I think courage is a big quality I could say that I imbibed in my life. And another thing is strength. I literally could not imagine myself picking up a stone from the ground. Every single day picking up stone. Strength is one of the things I wouldn't have seen myself do. A third quality I would say is love. You really need to show up for one another. People have bad days, you will have bad days, and other people will have good days. So you need to show that you're there for one another because they're your family for the next 6 months. And I didn't have them to talk to or yell at all the time. I have to yell at my teammates or rant to them about whatever problems I have. So love each other, care for each other, and yeah, it's a different meaning when you come to Akshardham to love someone. To explain my experience in Akshardham in a few words, it's very hard because it's been a real journey going back and forth from real reality to a complete dream. It's been blissful. It's been hard at sometimes. Family here is the same as family at home because you would argue with the same people every single day. You would see them. You would argue with your friends just like you would your family. But at the end of the day, you bond over lunch time and dinner time, and just like any breaks, you would have fun, giggle, and then we get right back to work. So it's like the interchanges between that is very unique, and you won't ever experience that anywhere else besides here in Akshardham. It's crazy to think that a place that you've lived in for 6 months can become your home so easily. Akshardham is not only a place for visiting like an attraction, but it's a home for thousands of Hindu and other religious people. It's crazy to think that I'm gonna be leaving this behind, and I can't imagine what it'll look like once it's done. Unbelievable. I will be able to bring my kids in the future and say that mom made the railing, which is kind of crazy to say because we're basically making history right now. 1,000 years from now, people are going to be looking at the work that I have touched myself and stones that I've placed myself, and it's crazy to think that, it wasn't just me, but it was thousands of other volunteers working together to build this amazing monument that you see today.
Every week, insightful programs are held at the Festival of Inspirations. Let's now explore the sights, sounds, and inspirational messages from this week's programs.
Oh Today we come together in this grand assembly to honor the remarkable life of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, whose teachings and actions have left an enduring impact on humanity. Krishna, the embodiment of love, wisdom, and divine playfulness, continues to inspire seekers of truth and spirituality today. His timeless stories light our path, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of life's purpose. In every aspect of his existence, Sri Krishna Bhagwan displayed qualities of compassion and was the epitome of devotion.
ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણએ અર્જુનને પહેલું લક્ષણ સમજાવ્યું, હે અર્જુન, જો બુદ્ધિને સ્થિર કરવી હોય તો પ્રજહાતિ યદા કામાન સર્વાન પાર્થ મનોગતાન. હે પાર્થ, જે વ્યક્તિ પોતાના મનની અંદર રહેલી લૌકિક વાસનાઓ, લૌકિક કામનાઓ, પોતાની સ્વાર્થ બુદ્ધિ એને જ્યારે પ્રજહાતિ કહેતા એનો ત્યાગ કરે છે ત્યારે એની બુદ્ધિ સ્થિર થાય છે. આપણે જીવનમાં શાંતિની અપેક્ષા રાખીએ છીએ, આપણે જીવનમાં સ્થિરતાની અપેક્ષા રાખીએ છીએ, આપણે સુખની પણ અપેક્ષા રાખીએ છીએ, પણ જ્યાં સુધી લૌકિક કામનાઓ, જે કામનાઓથી આપણી ચિત્તની વૃત્તિઓ ભટકી જાય છે, જે કામનાઓને લઈને આપણા જીવનની અંદર પ્રશ્નો આવે છે, જે કામનાઓને લઈને આપણા કુટુંબો તૂટી જાય છે, આપણા મન તૂટે છે, આપણા હૃદય તૂટે છે ને અશાંતિ ઊભી થાય છે, એ પ્રકારની લૌકિક કામનાઓનો ત્યાગ કર્યા વગર ક્યારેય પણ બૌદ્ધિક શાંતિ, વિચારોની સ્થિરતા આપણને પ્રાપ્ત નથી થતી, એમ શ્રીમદ ભગવદ્ ગીતાએ સમજાવ્યું. ગીતાની સુંદરતા તો તમે જુઓ. એશા બ્રાહ્મી સ્થિતિ, શરૂઆત થઈ યોગની વાતથી. અર્જુનને ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણ એમ કહેલું કે ભાઈ અર્જુન, તું જ્યારે જ્યારે તારી બુદ્ધિને સમાધિમાં સ્થિર કરીશ તદા યોગમ અવાપ્સ્યસી. યોગથી આ વાતની શરૂઆત થયેલી અને બ્રહ્મ શબ્દ ઉપર આવીને અટકી. ભગવદ્ ગીતા યોગશાસ્ત્ર અને વેદાંત શાસ્ત્રને એક સાથે લાવીને આપણા જીવનની અંદર પીરસી દે છે. આ ભગવદ્ ગીતાની વિશેષતા છે.
ભગવદ્ ગીતાના વ્યાખ્યાકાર શ્રીધર સ્વામી એ ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણની ભગવદ્ ગીતાની વ્યાખ્યા કરતા હતા. એમાં આ શ્લોક આવ્યો, અનન્યા ચિંતયંતો મામ યે જના પર્યુપાસતે તેષામ નિત્યાભિયુક્તાનામ યોગક્ષેમ વહામ્યહમ. આ શ્લોક, આ શબ્દો જોઈને એને લાગ્યું કે યોગક્ષેમ વહામી અહમ. વહામી અર્થાત મજૂર જેમ ઊંચકીને લઈ જાય એવી રીતે હું મારા ભક્તોના ક્ષેમ અને યોગને હું વહન કરું છું, મજૂરની જેમ. આવા શબ્દો જોઈ અને શ્રીધર સ્વામીને થયું કે આવું ના લખાય. ભગવાન ભક્તના માટે મજૂર બને? એટલે એમને લાગ્યું કે આપણે હમણાં આ શ્લોકમાં આગળ વ્યાખ્યા લખવી નથી. કૃષ્ણ કહે છે, માંસાની ઉત્કૃત્ય દાસ્યામી ફલ્ગુનાર્થે મહીપતે. મારે મારું માંસ કાપીને આપવાનું હશે તો પણ હું અર્જુન માટે આપી દઈશ, કારણ કે અર્જુન એ મારો શિષ્ય છે, મારો ભક્ત છે. ભગવાન ભક્તની રક્ષા કરવા બેઠા છે, એ માટે સમગ્ર મહાભારત છે. ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણે કેવી કેવી રીતે રક્ષા કરી. ધર્મ અધર્મના પ્રશ્નો આવ્યા ત્યારે ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણે પાંડવોની રક્ષા કરી. ન પડે ત્યારે મહાભારત કહે છે, મહાજનો યેન ગતસ્સ પંથા. જેમ ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણે પોતાના માંસના ટુકડા આપવા માટે તત્પર થયેલા, સ્વામિનારાયણ ભગવાન પણ એ જ રીતે પોતાના ભક્તોને માટે સહન કરવા તત્પર થયેલા રામાનંદ સ્વામીને બે વરદાન માગતા કહે છે કે તમારા ભક્તને અન્ન વસ્ત્રે ક્યારેય તમારો ભક્ત દુઃખી ન થાવો અને મને રામપાત્ર મળે. તમારા ભક્તને દુઃખ હોય તો મને વીંછીનું કોટી વીંછીની વેદના થાય, પણ તમારા ભક્તને એ ન થાય. શ્રીજી મહારાજે માગ્યું. આપણને એ પ્રતીતિ છે કે ભગવાન કૃષ્ણ 5000 વર્ષ પહેલાં થયા એમ નથી. ભગવાન કૃષ્ણ આજે પણ જીવંત છે, આપણી સાથે છે. આપણે અર્જુનની જેમ એમની સ્વરૂપ નિષ્ઠા રાખવાની છે, એમાં દ્રઢતા રાખવાની છે, એમના આશ્રયની દ્રઢતા રાખવાની છે. એ દ્રઢતા જેટલી રાખીશું એટલી જન્માષ્ટમી સફળ થઈ કહેવાશે.
प्यार શ્રીજી મહારાજે પણ વચનામૃતની અંદર અને એમની કથા વાર્તામાં શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન અને ગોપીઓની જે ભક્તિ છે એના ખૂબ સારી રીતે મહારાજે ઉદાહરણો કરેલા છે. ભક્તિનો અર્થ શ્રીજી મહારાજે વચનામૃતમાં કર્યો, ખાસ કરીને ગોપીઓનું દ્રષ્ટાંત લઈને. મહારાજે કહ્યું કે ગોપીઓ જે છે એમાં મહારાજે 3 ભેદ પાડ્યા: મુગ્ધા, મધ્યા અને પ્રૌઢા. બહુ અદ્ભુત વાત મહારાજે આપણને કરી. ગોપીઓની ભગવાનને વિશે ભક્તિ હતી. એટલે આપણે જોઈએ તો ભગવાન શ્રી કૃષ્ણના જીવનમાંથી આ બધી ગોપીઓ, એમના જીવનમાંથી આપણને ઘણું બધું શીખવા મળે છે.
Recently, Hindus around the world celebrated Janmashtami, the birth of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. His teachings in the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Puran have resonated with countless individuals through millennia. In particular, the Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Shri Krishna Bhagwan and Arjun about life, duty, and righteousness. The depth of Gnan or knowledge contained in the Gita makes it a timeless guide. Recently, Pujya Yogananda Swami explained the Gita in a practical way for today's times. This series of short videos can be seen on YouTube at the BAPS Better Living channel. Now, let's watch a short clip from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita lecture series.
The first miracle is not in the 11th chapter when Krishna Bhagwan takes a full form, Vishwarup Darshan. No, the first miracle is that in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, God's Updesh, God's guidance, the first command isn't from God to devotee, it's actually from devotee to God. Arjun commands God, take my chariot between the 2 armies. Krishna Bhagwan does as he's told. And Krishna Bhagwan takes Arjun between the 2 armies and he says, look across and see your enemies. And when Arjun looks, he sees his family. He sees his grandfathers, he sees his uncles, his maternal uncles, he sees his cousins, his nephews, he sees his brothers. And all of a sudden, he is just lost. He goes into deep depression, distress. Krupaya paraya vishto. Arjun is overcome with grief. And in that grief, he looks to Krishna Bhagwan and he's unable to say anything to him while he's in the chariot. He gets out of the chariot, goes behind his own chariot, drops his bow, falls to his knees. Krishna Bhagwan is confused. What's happening here in front of all of these millions of people? Krishna Bhagwan gets out of the chariot, goes behind the chariot, and sees Arjun on his knees, cowering and sweating. And Arjun looks to him and he says, Bhagwan, Siddhanti mama gatrani, mukham cha parishushiti, vepatuscha sharire me rom harshascha jayate, gandivam sransate hastat, tvakcheva paridayate, nacha shaknomi avastatum, brahmativa cha me manaha. Bhagwan, my entire body is shaking. My skin is burning. My mind is just moving. I cannot stand still. My mouth is dry. My eyes are flickering. I can't hold my bow. Everything is going wrong. I don't know what's happening to me. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita teaches us a very important lesson. For Arjun, God wasn't in his village. God wasn't far away in his house. God was right in front of him. Standing right in front of him was God. And here he was on his knees in tears. The moment will come in your life and in my life where God will be standing right in front of us and we will have nothing we can say to him except cry. And at that time, it's okay. Because if we take our pain, if we take our frustration, if we take our misery, our despair, our grief, every emotion that we have, and we connect it to God, then our Vishad can become Vishad Yoga.
If you enjoy receiving content like this on your phone, You can follow BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Medium, and others. In our next segment, Voices of the Attendee, we explore the experiences from those who have visited and taken part in the Festival of Inspirations. So let's now take a listen to what our visitors had to say about their time here at BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham.
That how hundreds and thousands of people have come together and made this, impossible possible.
See this magnificent accomplishment is just really a marvel to view.
Like, I want to be a part of something special, and this right here, I don't think you can get any more specialer than this.
I want to keep that spark, that excitement alive as long as possible.
I'm Tom Swazi. I'm a former congressman from Long Island and Queens, New York.
Hi, my name is Neeraj Kalani.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mario Chalmers, two-time NBA champ.
I am Avni Modi Sarkar. I am the co-founder of Modi Toys.
The fact that people who've immigrated to America only 50 years ago, 60 years ago, build this temple to celebrate it like this is a great symbol of both the United States of America and of the BAPS community. And I think that the Akshardham here, that has been built by so many volunteers and with so many devotees over such a long period of time, is an inspiration to think that we can be better than we are.
The word is brotherhood. That was something that we preached at the Heat, was always be there for your brother. How you guys are sacrificing your time is come out here and volunteer, do work to build something special. I mean, you can't do nothing by yourself, you can't do it all by yourself. And having that brotherhood, that camaraderie, for me, with 12 to 15 guys, for you, it's a community of people, hundreds of thousands. That's what I say, everybody learns from each other. That's the best thing. Like, I want to be a part of something special. And this right here, I don't think you can get any more specialer than this. I played all over the seas. I played in Greece, I played in Italy, and you hear about things like this over there, you actually go see it over there. And then to have something with that nature, that statue right here in America, in our backyard, it's pretty cool to be able to come out here and look at it.
I think without the sacrifice that hundreds and thousands of volunteers have made to make what Akshardham is today and what it'll be tomorrow is unparalleled. And so if people are so passionate and they have put their professional careers and personal lives and they have adopted this place as their home, I think that's the biggest sacrifice anyone can make. And I think even after we are gone, I think people will remember us because of that. One lesson I'm taking in, that how hundreds and thousands of people have come together and made this impossible possible.
I think it's really important for kids, especially when they're younger, to have something tangible that they kind of point to, touch and feel, just to really help in their learning as they're growing. And it helps, I think, connect the dots for them, because it's one thing to read a book about going to the mandir, and it's another to actually go to the mandir. And they see that, this is just like part of everyday life. Like, this is not like something that has to be at arm's length. What I love about it is that it's a place that feels really approachable. I want them to have that excitement of going to the mandir, like which they had this morning when I told them we're coming here. I want to keep that spark, that excitement alive as long as possible, and I want mandir to be a place that they look forward to going to, not something like that's laborious, like that feels like a chore. And I think Akshardham has done a fabulous job to make it a place that's really kid-friendly and family-friendly. And so as a parent now, I'm really looking forward to that. The more people learn about Akshardham and at least are intrigued and curious enough to come and experience it, the more it will just benefit their, I think, own personal growth and their well-being.
It's that time again. Our favorite part of our weekly spotlight, the BAPS Kids Newscast. Now, let's pass the mic to our junior reporters.
She did the really good volunteer. This is not just the home, like a mandir construction. It's all about his career construction, her jivan. The way she built her mandir is the mandir built her. The way she's gonna be strong for the living the life, volunteerism, the professional lives, the way she's gonna struggle. In case she's in a struggle in her life, she have a way to come over to that struggle.
Every time I do my seva on site, I think back, like if someone does something wrong or if I do something wrong, I shouldn't take fault in them. I should see good in them and always work towards achieving positive work habits in our construction site. But in your heart, you feel like Akshardham's changed you. It's built you up to this moment. I think I've built courage a lot because I was always outspoken. I'm very extroverted. I speak my mind whenever possible. But when I was doing seva on site, like there's 1,000 other people who also have opinions and stuff. So you really have to have the courage to speak your mind. So I think courage is a big quality I could say that I imbibed in my life. And another thing is strength. I literally could not imagine myself picking up a stone from the ground. Every single day picking up stone. Strength is one of the things I wouldn't have seen myself do. A third quality I would say is love. You really need to show up for one another. People have bad days, you will have bad days, and other people will have good days. So you need to show that you're there for one another because they're your family for the next 6 months. And I didn't have them to talk to or yell at all the time. You know, I have to yell at my teammates or rant to them about whatever problems I have. So love each other, care for each other, and yeah, it's a different meaning when you come to Akshardham to love someone. To explain my experience in Akshardham in a few words, it's very hard because it's been a real journey going back and forth from reality to a complete dream. It's been blissful, it's been hard at sometimes. Family here is the same as family at home because you would argue with the same people every single day. You would see them, you would argue with your friends just like you would your family. But at the end of the day, you bond over lunch time and dinner time and just like any breaks, you would have fun, giggle, and then we get right back to work. So it's like the interchanges between that is very unique and you won't ever experience that anywhere else besides here in Akshardham. It's crazy to think that a place that you've lived in for 6 months can become your home so easily. Akshardham is not only a place for visiting like an attraction, but it's a home for thousands of Hindu and other religious people. It's crazy to think that I'm gonna be leaving this behind, and I can't imagine what it'll look like once it's done. Unbelievable. I will be able to bring my kids in the future and say that mom made the railing, which is kind of crazy to say because we're basically making history right now. 1,000 years from now, people are going to be looking at the work that I have touched myself and stones that I've placed myself, and it's crazy to think that, you know, like it wasn't just me, but it was thousands of other volunteers working together to build this amazing monument that you see today.
Next, we'll shine a light on the remarkable community efforts spearheaded by the BAPS charities and its dedicated volunteers. Globally, BAPS has championed the cause of the environmental responsibility and have contributed to the planting of over 2 million trees. In the US, BAPS Charities has worked with the Nature Conservancy to plant and grow over 300,000 trees. Let's take a look into the inspiring work in the week's BAPS in the community.
All I want to say is this is an annual event for myself and my family, and one of the reasons that anytime BAPS invites us, we come is because there are no finer neighbors than somebody who's with BAPS. Your community is what everybody should aspire to be like. You give back. You are wonderful people to welcome us into your lives, and I am blessed and privileged to know any of you. Thank you.
Well, the impact on the local community is huge. Like already you have hundreds of people walking from all walks of life, people with canes, children coming together in the name of the environment, right here from the community. I think this brings awareness, I think it brings togetherness, and it actually brings us together for the issues that are important to our community. And today we saw the giving back right here in this community.
Just another opportunity for me to give back to the community that I grew up in. I'm a local resident of the area, and what better way to give back to the community is than this walkathon. This walkathon not only will benefit the local village, but has a global impact as we partner with the Nature Conservancy.
It's really amazing to see how we have about 700 walkers today, and we're going to be planting about 61,000 trees this year. It's so inspiring because everyone's volunteering and working together and to help restore the environment.
With the Bartlett Police Department, it's always a pleasure to support BAPS, and we're happy to give back and help out where we can. And BAPS always puts on a really great event here. It's always so organized, it runs fluidly, and everybody's just so nice and friendly here. Who would not want to be a part of this event?
Is the coming of the community. I'm finding people here that just live in Robbinsville. They're attending today. They were looking forward to today. So like what I said, it's just the bringing together of people.
Have a strong partnership at the state level with Robbinsville because they are leading the way in so many programs, whether it's dealing with addiction, whether it's helping the environment, whether it's just reaching out to those less fortunate in the community. And that is why it fits so well here in Robbinsville, and you're succeeding so well. I just want to say on behalf of the state of New Jersey, I want to say thank you to BAPS Charities for all the work that you do, for all that you're doing, not only for the environment today, but for our wider community and all the charitable work that you do. But most importantly today, I want to thank all the walkers and organizers.
Can't believe it's been 7 years. We are still out here marching proud, and it's been wonderful to be a part of this every year. Thank you for supporting so many different local charities in Robbinsville. This community is an integral part of Robbinsville Township. So thank you for coming out every year and supporting causes that are near and dear to our hearts.
As we approach the finale of this week's Akshardham Spotlight, let's focus our minds, silence the external world, and look inward as we transition into this week's motivational moment, spoken by Puja Vivek Jivandas Swami.
It is quite common in life that all of us, we experience successes and failures, victories and defeats. So there are ups and downs in life. In fact, life is defined by successes and failures, by lows and highs. In all areas of life, in all walks of life, all of us, we either experience or we witness such situations. I would like to share an interesting incident with regards to the Indian cricket team. The Indian cricket team and all teams, all sports teams, they experience successes, and that definitely puts them on a high, and also failures, unexpected failures. In the year 2007, the World Cup cricket 50-over match was held in the West Indies in the year 2007. The cricket fans in India, they had very great hopes with regards to the Indian cricket team, and everyone felt that the Indian cricket team would definitely win the Gold Cup. But it so happened that when the World Cup started and India lost in the first round, at that time, Narayan Murthy of the Infosys wrote a wonderful article, an English article in one of the dailies. And in the article, he starts off by saying that when somebody fails in life, or rather does not give you the best of result, it so happens that generally we tend to become hysterical. We tend to find scapegoats, pointing fingers with regards to the fact that we lost because of him or we lost because of her. So Narayan Murthy, he starts off the article by saying that what is wrong with the system. It is important to have systems, ordered systems, an organized way of doing things. And then he spells out and he says that in any area of life, a proper system is very important, whether it is cricket, whether it is business, or in any area of life, whether it is a family system. And he describes the fact that in his own company they have adopted 4 systems. And he very, very assuringly says that systems play a very important role in trying to carve success or in trying to achieve and attain success in life. The first he points out is meritocracy, adhere strictly to meritocracy. A person should be eligible to the job or to the role that he or she has to play. No compromises should be made with regards to the merit or the eligibility of that individual for the role that he or she has to play. The second thing he points out is the will to work hard. There is no alternative to hard work. All great scientists, all great leaders, all great people who have achieved success, they have worked, they have sweated very, very hard to achieve their goals. The third thing he pointed out was to adopt the best of global practices in training. A person needs the best of practices in training in order to put him up to that mark where that person can perform to his or her best. And the last thing he points out is absolute discipline. He goes on to describe that if a cricket player comes late for his practice match, then he should be told once. If he comes late the second time, he should be reprimanded the second time. And if he comes late for the practice the third time, then Narayan Murthy says that he should be shown the door out. Akshardham in Robbinsville, that has been created. It is indeed a great feat. It is an engineering feat. It is a feat of volunteerism. But that feat has also been realized due to the intrinsic faith of the 11,000 young volunteers. They worked with faith. They worked with energy. They worked with systems. So systems, they play an important role in achieving success in any area of life.
And there you have it. We've reached the end of this week's Akshardham Spotlight. As the chapters of our Spotlight unfold, remember that each episode is a journey, a step closer to the heart of what makes BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham a true landmark of Hindu art, architecture, and culture. We look forward to welcoming you back to the BAPS Akshardham Spotlight next week. Namaste and Jai Swaminarayan.